Now, the race to replace retired Deputy Chief Justice Kalpana Rawal has narrowed down to 14 candidates after Lady Justice Pauline Nyamweya withdrew from the race. Nyamweya said she will also not appear for interviews for the position of Judge of the Supreme Court. She cites her ethnic background, which is similar to that of the Chief Justice nominee, David Maraga.
With a first-class honours in law and a master's degree from the University of Cambridge, backed with an illustrious career as a High Court judge, Lady Justice Pauline Nyamweya had been touted as a top contender for the Deputy Chief Justice job, but barely 10 minutes into the interview.
I have thought it prudent to withdraw my application for both positions of Deputy Chief Justice and Judge of the Supreme Court.
Nyamweya pulled out of the interview, citing the likelihood of plunging the country into a constitutional dilemma in the event that she emerged as the best candidate, since she hails from the same ethnic background as Chief Justice nominee Justice David Maraga.
We come from the same ethnic community with Justice Maraga. I think it is not viable, given those constitutional imperatives, even though, as I said, I was ready, willing, and I believe qualified to serve as Deputy Chief Justice and Judge of the Supreme Court.
Next on the JSC hot seat was Court of Appeal Judge Philomena Mwilu, who after 9 years of service as a judge, now wants to be the country's next Deputy Chief Justice.
I have done whatever was my duty to the best of my ability. I intend to continue doing that.
What are your views on judicial activism? And I ask this question because it hinges on the interpretation of the Constitution.
Judicial activism is not wrong, provided that judges who make law must make it within defined constitutional and statutory provisions.
What are your thoughts on Article 45 with regard to how tenable polygamy is within the confines of our Constitution, Article 45?
If these women are happy, they got into their relationship consciously. It's their custom or it is their belief. And they willingly wanted to share this one man and all that he has and what the three of them, put into the relationship. It's the law. I wouldn't moral police anybody who wanted to go that way.
However, with the ghosts of corruption still haunting the country's judiciary, Justice Mwilu recounted how she once dealt with a magistrate accused of soliciting a bribe during her stint as a judge based in Eldoret.
I called the person who had himself given her something so that she could do something, and in front of me, there was refund.
With Justice Maraga's name already getting the backing of the government and the opposition, the JSC will no doubt be under intense pressure to entrench ethnic balance with the remaining positions of Deputy Chief Justice and Judge of the Supreme Court, particularly after the withdrawal of Lady Justice Nyamweya from the interviews. Muremi Mwangi, KTN News in Nairobi.